Casey is Raw again, and today we are doing some video game hunt NWO style, all in black. So, just figure I really haven't got to do this so often recently. Yeah, I did it last week, but the last two times I went out, didn't really find anything at all. So, I'm gonna probably try a couple places. I don't want to go too far, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, I have an idea the way I want to do. I probably want to check one vintage stock on the way out of town. So, I'm thinking about it, and then maybe come back into townish and hit up another vintage stock. I figure why not, and just see wherever floats my boat, if you know what I mean. I'm in a pretty good mood. It's a nice day, even though it's 100 degrees out here. But I'm hopefully finding something cool. Hopefully. I mean, I do already have some cool pictures to show off in this episode for you guys. And here's off the hook, I guess. A lot of times if I'm out and about and just happen to look around but not recording, I'll see something looks cool, take a picture, and then I'll put it in the next episode. Because it's more recently, and then a lot of times I delete a lot of those photos afterwards because, I mean, they do hold up space. I mean, shoot, I got so many content right now that I'm wondering if I'm going to bog down my phone again. That I just got a ton of content sitting. So, I know one thing, when I get home, I will be editing a lot of stuff lately so I can get it. Or at least I can just transfer it to the freaking laptop so I can unload some of the stuff. But I want to try to get through. And I'm thinking about tonight, I will be recording some more Mario Odyssey. I got one episode left in the can. And I want to beat Mario Odyssey for you guys. Not finish it, not 100% beat it, because that takes a lot of time. But, and what's cool about Odyssey, it keeps giving to you. I mean, once you beat Bowser, the game is really not really over. You can go back and they open more moons. And I can't wait. I showed you guys recently that New Donk City is pretty much one of my favorite levels on it. So, I can't wait to unlock the N64 level. That's a good one too. And then unlock it, I go back to New Donk City again. I'm not a fan of the first part when it's at night, but it's still fun. I want to get to New Donk City when it's daytime and you can just venture out everywhere. During nighttime, it's kind of more like direct where they want you to go. While, Donk City didn't once open to the daytime, then you go wherever you want. So it's kind of like how the Breath of the Wild, you had the small section, I guess they call it the Great Plateau, and when you got the done the 4 dungeons or 4 shrines, it unlocks the rest of the map for you. Even though, I mean, it's more open world with Breath of the Wild than the Mario Odyssey. But talking about Mario Odyssey, I suggest you guys either get the VR headset from Nintendo Labo, or you buy some knockoff off on like AliExpress or Amazon or eBay, wherever, and play Mario Odyssey in VR. It's not like how Breath of the Wild plays the whole game in VR. It's pretty much just the gameplay up in your eyeballs. While Mario Odyssey, they add more content for the VR version. It'd be cool if it was the whole game, but it's still the VR part of it. It's cool. So, too bad they didn't really do more than that. They really just did what Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild has stuff for the Nintendo Labo VR. I wish they did more, but the VR part is not very good. I mean, honestly, if you want to get one of the cheaper VRs, I mean, the phones are okay, but unless you have a controller, it's not a good version. The biggest problem, Nintendo has a problem doing VR. Like when they had the Virtual Boy, I mean, you couldn't move around anywhere. You had to keep your head in a certain section, like a stationary goggles, playing stuff that isn't more in 3D than virtual. While the Labo VR, their biggest complaint from me and probably everyone, there's no damn head strap. You have to hold it like this. I don't like that. I want it strapped to my head and use the Joy-Cons, or mostly you probably use the Pro Controller. That's what I like to done. Yeah, people has modified their Labo VR where they put an elastic around their head. So, and I think the Switch tablet itself still runs off the... You know what? I'll hit that later on. I'm gonna go out. But, yeah, they should have had it done, then just put the freaking Switch in there and you had to hold it up to your head with the Joy-Cons. But maybe in the future with the next one's going to be an upgrade version of the Switch. They're not going to do this hybrid version of the Switch and then go back to a normal console. I'm pretty sure this is their thing from now on, is they have a hybrid. Because Nintendo was king of portables. They were able to continue to fight off phones. They successfully defeated the PlayStation, PSP and the PS Vita. To the point, like, PlayStation, they're like, or Sony, they're like, we don't recognize Vita ever happened before, and then they killed it off. I remember when PlayStation, they're like, they did a whole thing about PS4 games, and they did not have one Vita game. They didn't recognize it, and then to people's view, oh, Vita's dead. And you know what? It maybe wasn't dead, but when the public file was dead because of that, Sony's like, yep, Vita is dead now because you guys don't want it. And then, you know, it's crazy. Vita actually is getting a cult following right now. So, that's what I heard about it. It gets a cult following right now. I mean, it has way better graphics than the DS and the 3DS. I mean, shit was amazing. The PSP would do videos. Like, I remember watching on when I told the story about before, like when me and my late wife were in Vegas for 2 months ish, and of course it's gotta have been the hottest. It was the worst part of time being in Vegas during the summer. So it was brutal. And at the time, my truck was in Pennsylvania. While we were using her car while she was working, and I was trying to still find work, I was walking to everywhere. I'm shocked that I wasn't scared. I just walked around. But one day, either it was a day off for her, or it was after she was done working, we went to the mall in Vegas, and they had one of these games prizes. And my wife loves doing these prize games. And she was good at the block game. You know, where the blocks go back and forth, and then I usually, when I play this, I wait for the blocks to go to one side. It's a little easier for me to do that. But she made it all the way, and she get to the minor prize. And you could either stop at the minor prize and call it, or you can go for the big prize. Well, one day, that day we were talking about, she got hit the big prize and got the PSP. And this is like 2008, so gosh, I think the PSP was out in 04s, I think. I'm not 100% sure. This is during the PS2 era. So, and maybe the PS3 era. No, it was definitely when we picked it up, it was definitely the PS3 era. But, yeah, she won it, and we're like, you know, we had game stuff already, so we were like, we figured we'd turn around and flip it. We went to two different, there was a game store, and then they had a GameStop. So we went to one or the other, and then we switched to the other. Vice versa, which one, you know? And there was one guy following us from one to the other store, and we didn't like the price, and then we're walking, getting out of this mall, and this guy's still following us. I had to turn the guy aside, tell him to fuck off. He was like, what? I asked him, what the fuck you want? He's like, I'll buy your PSP. So I guess the guy's been waiting for that PSP or something. But I eventually told the guy to fuck off. but because the guy was creeping on me and my late wife. But I really enjoyed that PSP, actually. I mean, we just eventually grew to like it when we were traveling around. It was like this is before, smartphones and everything. Oh, I guess, well, no, that's not true. 2008, the iPhone came out, but it wasn't, not everyone had a smartphone. I had a flip phone for the longest time, but really had no other way to watch any content or be entertained except that PSP. So we would watch, I know for sure we would watch Viva La Bam on it. And I was blown away to watch episodes on there. But, then I would play Madden. And I actually enjoyed playing Madden. And that's the only game I can remember off the top of my head that I played on there. It was Madden. Maybe some wrestling games, but I don't remember what we had. But once we got settled in Pennsylvania, I had no more use for the Vita. Because I finally got a chance to find work. Now I've been wanting. Yes, it was nice to take some time off and enjoy life, but I also needed the work, and I can't be cooped up into a motel or someone's house or wherever. So I was like, I needed to work. Talk about someone's house. I remember when I moved up to Pennsylvania, the first place, well, my wife was a traveling dialysis. And the first place I moved up there with her was in a town called, Du Bois, Pennsylvania. Very heavily wooded area. The place would be littered of deer. Like, it would not be any shock to see a deer in your yard. And you have to be extremely careful driving around not to hit a deer. It's more chances you will hit these deers than hitting any other animals up there. But it was a beautiful town, and like I said, she was traveling dialysis, and her company would pay for her stay. And it was this really nice house. Had a jacuzzi tub. And I couldn't fill it up with full hot water to use it as the jets. It would get to barely past my waist and to be out of hot water. But it was amazing. It had so many rooms in this place. This was honestly for a big family. When it was, at the time, it was just her and our dog, Oki. A little schnauzer, or Snarky, because he had Gorpy in him. And, even with me living there, not enough people to fill up this house. You had a bottom, the basement had a shower. The shower was great down there. And we used the advantage of it, yes. But, and then had, like, a couple more, like, one giant room for our kids. Like, they had bunk beds on it. I'm like, that was weird. Why would they have bunk beds down here? But I guess they was renting out this house for people. So, I guess the rent out house is like fully furnished. But she was getting paid a lot of money at that time, and she was getting her rent paid by her work. So that was actually more money in her pocket. And usually if you're dialysis, you don't get paid as much as that. But she was a traveling dialysis. I mean, she went from, like, living in Pennsylvania, she moved down to Oklahoma, where I met her. She went to Florida for the longest time, and we were talking about getting back together, but I didn't take it too serious because I'm like, to me, I don't really believe in long distance relationships because, life happens, and like, how can you trust someone when they're across the country or hours away, hours and hours away? It's kind of hard to have a relationship when you can only see them very rarely, or even just the weekend. And you have to travel far. And like, now I'm 40, it's kind of hard. I mean, yes, I am doing stuff like this, but I'm not doing as much anymore because financially it's getting a little harder because I have stuff to pay. But then also, it's getting tired. I mean, right now it's 102 degrees. When I work outside, a lot of times on a trailer, like right now I'm doing at the end on Thursday I was working inside a trailer replacing these wood paneling, and I had 2 fans in there, but it still felt like an oven. When I finally got a chance to pull it in, it was not as bad, but I was sweating up the storm. What I'm gonna do, but yeah, so I'm like, a lot of times I go home and I pass the hell out. But I'm gonna stop here, not the video, but I'm gonna stop at this Quick Trip, give me some liquids, maybe a snack, and I will return. And I'll probably do it on road view next, because they're kind of like showing off the road view. If you're like, don't dox yourself, well, I'm far away where I live anyways right now, so I'm not really doxing where I live. That's sometimes like I would say, oh, I'm going over here because I'm nowhere near where I live. Alright, but a lot of people watch out, and I understand. I do the same thing with Drew. A lot of times I'll be like, dude, don't want to do that. Don't want to cost it, but I'll be right back. Alright, guys, so I got out, and you see something different. Yes, I got finally a new pair of sunglasses. It's been a while since I got me some, so I saw these white ones, and I'm like, you know what? I feel like changing it up every once in a while. But what sucks that I had 2 drinks out my bag. Of course, the one that drops was glass. And it was my freaking iced coffee. I wanted iced coffee, so that freaking sucks. And I wasn't gonna go in there. It's like, hey, I just dropped this, and it broke. Oh, sorry, this guy took forever to turn, but I do have me a soda and I got water, so I might get something to eat on the way out, but that sucks. But it's okay. We're gonna move on and hopefully find something cool today. I mean, I might travel a little further than I really wanted to, but I wanted to go out. So, let's go ahead and flip-flop the view. So, I'll be right back. Alright, now I flip-flop the view. Let's make it a little bit, see the road and everything a little bit better for you guys. So, we're heading to a town called Claremore. That's where we're off to. You know what? I have an idea. I was thinking about going to Bartlesville, but I just thought of something. A brilliant idea. I had not been to these couple stores in a while. We can go to Pryor or Muskogee. I hadn't been down that direction in a while. So, we'll see how it goes. But, yeah, that sounds like a good game plan right now. So, I would say it's a beautiful day, but it's 100 degrees. A beautiful day right now, it'd be like, the weather is like 70. Right now, it'd be beautiful. Even low 80s. But I'm just glad I'm off today. Get some sleep. I always like sleeping. I like taking naps. So, and now that's how you know I'm getting a little older, that I like to sleep all the damn time. But you know what? I would do it when I was younger anyways. Like, I would sleep until like 11 o'clock-ish. I don't think my parents would let me sleep till 12. But a lot of times I would, get up for watching cartoons anyways. But they would be lenient on the weekends. So, that's what I like. But obviously, you would still have one. It's probably Sunday is our clean day. I think Saturdays are more chill day. And then Sunday's usually clean the house day. So, and that's kind of how we do it anyways here. I mean, I would be mowing right now, but there's not been rain for the last 2-3 weeks. The grass hadn't grown at all. So, I've been a little bit fortunate taking off from mowing. So, I am happy about that. Because I would be do the front yard one week, do the backyard next week, and keep rotating every week. Because we have not super big yards, but in the neighborhood, I think we have bigger yards than most people. So it takes me about half an hour after 40 something minutes to do the front. And it'd be like 80s, high 80s, 90s degrees. And a lot of times when I'm done, I'm a sweaty mess and I need electrolytes. But you can tell it has a bunch of election signs up now because I guess we're midterm elections. You know what? When I wear those other sunglasses, the Blues Brothers sunglasses, and the one I was wearing before, they call me Hollywood or one of the women in the back, they called me Belushi. I was like, I thought that was funny because, I mean, I like Blues Brothers. And you know, Blues Brothers 2000 get a bad rap. I think not only to me it's a good movie, it has some good songs on it. I hadn't listened to it in a while because a lot of times when I put my music from YouTube Music, I would like to listen to more of the songs that I added recently than more of the other songs. But it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to put my phone on random. So I might start doing that, just change it up every once in a while. What sucks over here, it used to be really beautiful, but now it's got all this construction and it looks like shit now. I mean, it had the beautiful look of nature. And now I don't think it really needs an extra 2 lanes because this area is not as busy as they think. I hardly ever get stuck in traffic on this road. So to me, they're just fucking up nature just to make it a little bit more convenient. And it looks like that's what they are. They're making the right side all right lanes, and the left lanes are all left lanes, obviously. So they're making it 4 lanes, obviously. And that's what sucks. They're destroying a beautiful part of nature for a little convenience. I mean, the area I live at needed to be wider. It really did, because I would take forever to get up and down the roads because it was hard. I mean, there's honestly no good way to go to and go from home to work and work to home without dealing with traffic. So that's what sucks. And you know what's funny? Come down here, for some reason down here does need extension, but it probably will. They'll probably take a lot of this land and fuck it up just to make it 4 lanes. I need some liquids. But let me take a swig of water. Oh, that was good. Oh, gosh. I know one thing. I was having a bunch of weird dreams today. I don't remember much about it, but I know it was weird. And that there'd be certain dreams that, like, trying to remember what happened, or it was weird. Or I used to get a lot of fighting dreams, like where, again, the fights, and I feel like when I'm throwing punches that it's not causing any damage, because probably what I'm punching is the mattress or pillows, so feeling like I'm getting, like, my punches are bad. But yeah, again, and what sucks that I would be sleeping and have these fighting dreams, and if it was my wife or any of my ex-girlfriends at the time, I would accidentally hit them in my sleep. I would have a fight dream, and I'll wake up and say, "Oh, please tell me I didn't hit you." Sometimes they would say no, and sometimes they would say, yeah. I mean, it sucks that happens, because, I mean, I couldn't help it because it's dreams. But I had some really bad nightmares. I remember this one dream. I'm not sure if I told you guys, but I know it's been a while, that I remember this guy was throwing football bombs at me. Yes, football bombs. And I would see, so I'd be running away because he's throwing bombs at me. And we're on actually a football field, and at the end of the football field had this wall. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm protected now. But of course, in my dream, this wall shrinks to the point where I'm literally, like, crawling on my knees, then eventually on my belly. And then I look up over the wall, and of course, here comes the bomb directly at me. So, and then I remember, like, a nightmare where Skeletor was shooting this gun that was, indoor flea market. Oh, it's July 23rd. Huh, interesting. That'd be nice to hit. I guess that's next week. Maybe. I'll be up to that. I mean, but yeah, Skeletor was shooting from this gun that attaches down to the ground. It's like some platform gun rifle thing. It's something like you would see it as a toy, you know? But that's one of the dreams from my childhood. That is a fragment that I remember from a dream. But of course, there'll be some sexual dreams, or romantic dreams with, like, obviously with my late wife, and a couple women that I find attractive that I won't point out because it's not right to point them out. Some of them are probably married or whatever, and I believe if someone's spoken for, it's not right to put yourself in between them, because that's not right. And I wish people would do the same thing for other people. Like, if someone's in a marriage or relationship, it's not right to get in the middle of it. Even though you have strong feelings for some people, it's not right, because it's just not. It's kind of like how I found out, like, when this one dude was hitting on at the time was my girlfriend at the time, who became my wife. So, I mean, the guy, and then eventually, I just happened the one time I looked over, I see this asshole sends a dick pic to my girlfriend. I was like, I wasn't distrusting her. I distrust her friends after seeing that. Harbor Freight. But I am at Game Exchange. So what I am thinking about is I might... Oh, shoot! I see a cool car. I'll flash it to you guys real quick. It's Ecto 1, man. Look at that. That is cool. I saw that. I figured I'd show it off to you guys, but... Alright guys, we're gonna try this. See if this can work like this.
Head east toward West Will Rogers Boulevard.
If you guys can hear that, obviously I'm doing using my GPS. So I'm double dipping on the power of the cell phone. That's still called the Ecto 1. So, yes, I am going to try to go out to a couple places that I have not hit in a long, long time.
In 200 feet, turn right onto West Will Rogers Boulevard.
Will Rogers.
Take the next right onto West Will Rogers Boulevard.
You know what? Honestly, I think it'd be cool going back to the Will Rogers museum, actually. I hadn't been there since I was a child. So...
In 1,000 feet, turn right onto South Lynn Riggs Boulevard, US Route 66.
Route 66. Beautiful town. I guess it wants me to turn right. What's weird is getting a little hungry though too. Getting to the point I'm thinking about stopping and getting something to eat. Something to eat. So yeah, so I'm thinking about doing that actually. That sounds good.
Take the next right onto South Lynn Riggs Boulevard, US Route 66, then turn left onto East 2nd Street.
I'm thinking about switching off the phone.
Take the next left onto East 2nd Street, West Patty Page Boulevard.
Patty's Page Boulevard. Yeah, I'm getting a little hungry. I am. I'm getting a little hungry. You know, it's cool that last time I tried this, it was choppy as hell. Dude, this place, what's funny, this courthouse in Claremore looks like the library and Back to the Future. Like a modern...
Continue for 17 miles.
A modern version of it. Guess this is, I'm gonna just stop here for a second and then move. The light's not even working, but I assume you still have to stop and look. Yes, I'm getting a little bit hungry. It'd be interesting. I'm wondering if the phone's picking this up where the GPS is recording. I mean, the phone's recording the GPS. Oh, God, that was not good. Railroad tracks are never good. Like there's one in Owasso, really freaking bad. You could even take it super slow and it feels like you hit it hard. Oh, God. Oh, wow, nice. I mean, got cool cars, but they're rusted out. You know what? I'm probably gonna do this. I think it's quite interesting. I'm gonna stop it and reverse. I figured to do this for you guys instead. I mean, you guys know what I look like. So, I mean, sometimes I hadn't went down this direction in a long time. Honestly, since they done construction over here. And they said the other FTW store is only 20-something minutes away. So I was like, hell yeah, why not? Have some fun. Gas I'm glad it just dropped below $4 now. We never hit the 5, but we're getting close. Oh, there's that Quick Trip I hit every once in a while. I probably will be hitting that Quick Trip coming back. I don't know, but I'm getting like I said, I'm getting a little hungry. So, I don't know. I don't know. I know my ex-girlfriend, she's missed doing this, and I miss having someone with me. Like, even if it was my ex-brother-in-law, we used to go together doing this all the dang time. It was nice because we would listen to the same music, we would talk about life and like video games, wrestling, or whatever. Stuff that we have a lot of common in. And Even sometimes if we both like a song, we would jam out. I do miss those days. And it was awesome when my wife, she would be up to go with us. It just sucks that a lot of times her back, she would be in incredible pain, and I think she thinks, I know she felt like she was holding me down because of her injury. I'm like, no. I mean, I loved her. Was she perfect? No, but I certainly wasn't freaking perfect. And sadly, before she passed, she was dealing with drugs because of her back pain. And she was an emotional wreck. And she was getting to the point of she was actually suicidal. And luckily, finding out, well, I'm glad that, and I even told her that if she kills herself, I won't forgive her for that. Because I think I eventually would, because I love her too much to stay mad. But, like, I didn't want her to end herself. But she was an incredible amount of pain, though, too. So it's like, I can understand being too much pain to be bearing. And, like, her medicine, she was abusing her medicine for sure. But what can I do? I mean, when she's, like, incredible amount of pain, and when her normal dosage won't do it, it's like, what am I going to say? No. But, oh god, it's stuff like that. It's kind of emotional. Sometimes it triggers things that I don't want to trigger in my brain. Like, I mean, I love bringing up stories that are a great part of my life with her. But when it's stuff like, you know, what caused her death, and the stuff that she was dealing with her drug issues because of her back pain. I mean, before she had her infection in her spine, she used to do drugs, then she got clean. The only thing she was doing at the time was drinking every once in a while. But I think she was not even she was just socially drinking. Not like going out and getting plastered every day. But because of her injury, she had to self-medicate. And I learned that's why she did that. It was she was self-medicating. I thought it was just because she just fell off the wagon with that. Then I was like, I grew to find out why. I was like, okay, it makes sense about that. She was self-medicating herself because she was dealing with a lot of back issues. So, it sucks. I do miss her all the time. I think about her daily. Like, a lot of times I'll talk to this guy, it's like, I wish you were still here. And a lot of times I don't, people be like, oh, I didn't know you were married. Did you get divorced? It's like, no. It's like, then, like, when the guys I worked with, they're like, oh, then I don't understand. It's like, you're married? No. I mean, you were married, yes. Divorced? No. And, like, I don't get it. And then eventually it's like, she passed away. Then I realized, like, hey, you forgot about another option. We could have been separated. But, no, we weren't separated. I think we were talking about separation at once, but at one point. But we grew out of that, and we finally were able to prosper on with our marriage. But again, some of this stuff gets emotional. Like, sadly, a couple of the guys I work with, some of their spouses died recently. Two of these guys just lost their wives, like, back to back. And I want to talk to them. It's like, dude, I understand what you're going through. I mean, dude, I lost my wife back in 2017. And that first year, I definitely should have went to therapy. I was an emotional wreck. I didn't even tell my boss. It's like, dude, you probably want to make sure they're cool, because I know what they're going through. Because I was there back in 2017. I'm like, little things triggered me. To the smallest things that would trigger me, either things that would make me just cry, things that would make me mad. And I was not really mad at her, I was mad about her family, the way they just tried to screw me at the very last, the days after she passed. And I wouldn't even say my ex-brother-in-law. I mean, at the time, I would say yes, but I grew to understand. And I have no resentment towards him anymore. Because some things, I was an emotional wreck. And then I was getting screwed by pretty much her parents. But I was an emotional wreck. And luckily, I had my family to fall back on. Mainly my mom. She was a rock. I didn't know what to do. I certainly didn't want to stay in Pennsylvania. I had no reason to stay in Pennsylvania. Because while her family, most of her family, that like her immediate family, was in Florida. The only person who stayed was her brother. Her older brother stayed in Pennsylvania. I'm pretty sure he's still in Pennsylvania. But, her father, mother, and her younger brother moved down to Florida. I don't know if they're still there now. They probably are. But, they love Florida. They was taking advantage of my wife's house that her company was renting for her. Oh wow, I just drove by a nice house, by the way. Really beautiful house. I don't know if you guys saw it. Probably not, because it was on my left side. This is probably what people think Oklahoma looks like. Like, yes, there's just the country view. But this is just the country part. I mean, shoot, you have this view in Pennsylvania. But I pretty much live in the suburbs of Oklahoma. I used to live more in the sticks, but it was still like the sticks slash part, like half sticks, half suburbs. It was starting to become more recently, it's been more of the suburbs now. I'm hoping I'm still on course. I believe I am. Oh, gosh. I was thinking at this game exchange to pick up Lemmings for the NES. It was like $30. I was thinking about it, but the label had some damage. So I was like, why would I want to pay that amount with the label being damaged? So I went ahead and said no. Didn't see anything else. I mean, they had some Saturn stuff, but they are extremely heavily priced, expensive. I'm thinking what I'm going to do once I get the prior. I'm going to not only stop there of recording, maybe, and then I definitely got to stop and eat. Because I'm getting hungry. Oh, gosh. You know, and sometimes just driving around, listening to music, even doing this is kind of peaceful, though, too, for me. I feel that, and like I said before, I do miss having someone to my right as I'm driving, talking, or just, that's why they call it, was it road therapy? Or, I know if you're on a motorcycle, they call it wind therapy. But, I just wish I could find a bunch of good stuff. Lately, it's just been slow pickings, but like I said before, you can't always get what you want all the time. So a lot of times it's just sometimes you just strike out. In the last couple weeks, if I went out, it's been slim pickings. Of course, we gotta have a pot dispensary right there. Can't go 5 feet without pot dispensary. Got some rednecks to my right. I gotta slow down. This is kind of more of the old area of prior.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto South Mill Street.
Says quarter mile. Mill Street. So I gotta get in the right lane. Probably at that light, I have to turn right. Oh, KFC?
Take the next right onto South Mill Street.
Yep, that's what I figured. KFC, I kind of like these old buildings, the old look. Like that one to the right there, if you're guys able to see it. I think you guys can. My view is blocked by the GPS. I kind of like that look. I'm glad some stuff like that they kept. Because I feel like when they break stuff down and make a modern store, kind of takes a bit of the, I guess you could say, character of the town away.
Continue on South Mill Street for 3/4 of a mile.
And then you go up a little bit, and there's another. And to my right, to my left, I mean, there's another. So there's like 3 or 4 right there. I don't understand how can people compete this much with marijuana with this. Oh, that's interesting. Ice cream store. I don't know. I probably will lean on the Mickey D's. I mean, that's an old standby, if you ask me. Got a couple pawn stores. And, you know, I kind of like the...
In a 1/4 mile, turn left.
In a 1/4 mile, turn left. Going to a pawn store is kind of like a long shot. There's another... Oh.
Turn left, then your destination will be on the right.
Oh, shit. I was about to miss my spot. Got Taco Bell, and I'm not in the mood for Bell. And I'm really not a fan of Taco Bell. I'm more of what's called a Taco Bueno. You know what? Burger King actually sounds good. I mean, their burgers is a hell of a lot better than Mickey D's. And I'm getting a little headache, so I probably should eat.
Your destination is on the right.
Actually, bitch, the destination is directly in front of me, so get it right, bitch. It's saying your destination's on the right. Oh, you must be wrong, bitch. It was directly in front of me. Now it's to the right of me, so... Well, let's check it out, so I'll be right back. Well, going all the way to Pryor was a strikeout. It was fun, but the only thing I bought was food from Burger King. And the burgers are great, but as their fries and their nuggets suck. They're nowhere near close to McDonald's, but I was starting to get a headache, so I had to get some food. And right now, it's still hot. It's 102 right now. Just seems like it just stays hot. It just spikes to get hotter and hotter. I don't know. I'm thinking about hitting a couple places, but not. I might hit this 1 minute so I can go to the flea market and go home. I'm not exactly sure, but at least that 1 minute stop. Because I'm getting a little tired. And I got a lot of videos to edit, including this one. So, we'll see. I mean, it was a try, and what sucks, that other store prior, the second store, FTW Games, it's like their other store that they consolidated the games to half the store now. Not the whole store is pretty much video games. It's like half the store is video games, the rest of it is like knickknacks. Like I said, knickknacks and stuff like those Funko Pops and shit like that. I don't get it. I mean, I can get the collecting bug, but I don't get the Funko Pops because they're kind of like, people keep them in the boxes, and I have no. I mean, because they're like, oh, this is going to be worth $1 million in 1,000 years from now. I don't do that with my video games. I mean, well, if I get lucky, it's like, dude, I found a great game for it. Usually goes for a lot more, but they got it for cheap. I mean, I've been saying it for at least the last couple of years, and it seems like it's growing every year now since the pandemic has been started. I don't know, we're technically still in the pandemic, but I know we're coming out of it, but the pricing has been going up on almost everything. But certain things, I'm shocked it didn't go up, but like right now, games like the Wii U should be heading down in price. Usually previous gen games is the ones that, if they're going to be sold, they're going to be sold for cheaply, because now you're trying to either upgrade to the next, to the current gen, or you want to get retro systems that you're nostalgic for. And right now, Wii U is not in current gen. That's where the Switch is, and Switch is on pretty much heading soon to be heading out. And I can't believe it's already been over 5 years for the Switch. And you hear snippets of, oh, next gen Switch, but like I said, the previous gen games are usually, they dip in price, and that's when the best time to actually buy those games, even though you have no interest. That's when they're at their cheapest. Wii U, some games are going down to be cheaper, but there's some games going through the roof, like Devil's Third. Like, that game has been always rare to find. Even when they re-released it again for the Wii U, it was impossible to find it for cheap. So, I'm gonna hit this vintage stock, see if anything good, and then we'll play it by ear. I'm getting a little tired. Maybe it's because, like, nothing again, So, we'll see. I don't know. I mean, I kind of want to hit the flea market, but I don't know. We'll see. I just got out of vintage stock. Zilch again. It's just not my day. Actually, it's not been my last few weeks, but it's okay. It's the thrill of the hunt that keeps me coming. So, what I'm going to do, I'm getting a little tired. It's about almost 5 o'clock. I'm going to call it a day. Maybe I'll do another try again tomorrow, because I didn't hit everything out there. So, I'm sorry I failed, but I do have some pictures to show off to you guys. It'll be somewhere in this video. So I'll talk to you guys later. See you. Bye.